Hello, my dear English 3 students, and welcome to the present tenses review video. Remember that this video presentation is an example for you to do your own videos, your own video presentations for your grammar tenses. So let's get started with our review. In the simple present tenses review, what we are going to check is the simple present, as in Camilo lives in Bogota. The present continuous, as in Brian and Mariana are living in Mosquera now. The present perfect, as in Vivian has had her pet, Tony, for 8 years. And the present perfect continuous, as in Laura has been training since 2008. If you haven't gotten your notebook, or your pen, or your eraser, or your pencil, or your highlighters, this is the moment to do so. So if you haven't gotten your materials, stop the video and go get them. Are you ready? So let's start with form. Let's remember the form of the simple present. When we are looking at the simple present tense, we use the verbs with the pronouns I, you, we, they, and the very basic form of the verb live. I'm sorry about that. But when we have the third person, we need to add an additional S. Do you remember that? I hope you do. And some of you still use it when you are talking. When we are talking about the negative, with I, you, we, and they, we say they don't live, we don't live, right? We add don't, which is equals to do not. And then if we have the three third person pronouns, he, she, or it, we use doesn't. So he, she, or it doesn't live. In the interrogative form, I, you, we, and they take the auxiliary do. So we have do I live, do you live, do we live, do they live. And in the third person pronouns, we use does. Does he or she or it live? Remember that in the interrogative form, when we have does, we don't have to use the third person S at the end of the verb. Well, as you can see in this little chart, the short answers would be yes, I do, or no, I don't. Yes, she does, or no, he doesn't. Well, this sounds pretty simple and pretty basic, right? Why don't you stop the video for a moment and write 3 sentences, maybe one interrogative, one affirmative, and one negative sentence. Don't forget to bring these sentences and these notes to your class. Okay, so after you have taken the notes and made your sentences in the simple present, let's continue with the present continuous. The present continuous or present progressive has the following form. We need the verb to be, as we call it, so I am living, right? In the affirmative, you are, we are, or they are, so we use the same form as the to be. And then his, she's, it's living, yeah, the verb in ing. For the negative form, we use it to be negative. So I'm not living. We, you, they aren't or are not living. He, she, it isn't or is not living, right? In the interrogative, we just invert the to be and the subject. So am I living? Yes, I am. Or no, I'm not. Are you living? Are we living? Are they living? Yes, you, we, they are. No, you, we, they aren't. Is he, she, it living? So we just invert. Notice how the is first here. Yes, he, she, it is. No, he, she, it isn't. Okay, so once again, a very basic structure for you because supposedly you already managed this. So why don't we write a couple of sentences there? Okay, try to write some simple sentences about what people in your house are doing right now. Okay, now that you're done with your sentences in the simple present and the present continuous, let's look at the present perfect. The present perfect is a little bit more complex. In this structure, we have an auxiliary, yes, but it's not do or does, or is not the to be, is, are, or In here, our auxiliary is have and has for the third person pronouns, right? So look at the structure here. I've, you've, we've, they've lived, we have, etc. His, she's, it's lived, yeah, or has. You gotta be careful and pay attention here because the contraction apostrophe s may be confused with the to be. In these cases, she has or he has. So this is the same contraction for both. The negative, you have, haven't, and then the verb in the past tense. Well, it's not actually in the past, but in the past participle. Remember that? So he, she, it hasn't lived, right? The interrogative form, once again, we invert the order of the auxiliary. So we go first with have or has, and then the pronoun, and then the verb in the past participle. Yes, I, you, we, they have. No, I, you, we, they haven't. Yeah, be very careful with the use of haven't. Some people use haven't when they're conjugating the simple present, but it's only in the present perfect as an auxiliary. Okay, so something important here. Note the spelling rules for ed endings. Don't forget that these verbs are called regular verbs, and the pronunciation is probably the tricky part, so let's pronounce together. Work, worked. Play, played. Die, died. Lie, lied. Try, tried. Study, studied. Stop, stopped. Some verbs have irregular past participles. For example, do, done. Find, found. Have, had. Make, made. Can you think of other 5? Please write them down and don't forget to bring them to class. Okay, so moving on to our present perfect continuous tense. Remember that this is a review of the present tenses. So we have the present perfect continuous, which takes the same auxiliary as the present perfect. That means have or has. However, here we include another auxiliary, which is been. Been is part of the tense, and we can never let it out if we are using the present perfect continuous. So the conjugation would be haven't been or hasn't been plus a verb in the ing form. So let's look at examples here. I've, you've, we've, they've been living. Yeah. His, she's, it's been living. So it's always with been. B-E-E-N. It's the past participle of the verb be. So we need the auxiliary have and the auxiliary been, let's say. Don't forget that. The negative form, we make it I, you, we, they haven't been living. Haven't or have not. He, she, it hasn't been living. Hasn't or has not. So it would be a good moment to pause the video and make some statements, some sentences, just to make sure that you remember the structure. In the interrogative form, we once again invert the order, but this time we just keep the auxiliary have first. Being is part of the verb living in this case. So we separate these two and only keep have at the beginning or has at the beginning. So have I, you, we, they been living? Has he, she, it been living? Okay. Yes, I have. So no, I haven't. Yeah. Yes, he has, or no, he hasn't. So stop the video once again and please write some questions. We are going to do a review of this grammar video and a quiz, so it's important for you to keep taking notes all the time. Note the spelling rules for ing endings. This is another important thing to take into consideration. I bet you have seen the rules in other courses. Remember, this is just a review. Work, working, regular spelling. Play, playing, regular spelling. Live, living. Here there is a change. Can you identify that change? Have, having, similar to live. Stop, stopping. This is another change. What is it? What is different in the verb in the ing form? Run, running, same rule. Have you identified it? Die, dying. Lie, lying. Have you identified the rule here too? Okay, don't forget to take notes of the rules. I'm bringing them to class next time. Okay, this is the end of video 1. I will have another video for the use of the present perfect tenses. I'm sorry, the present tenses, because it's already too long. So if you finish this video, you can stand up, go to the bathroom, maybe have something to drink, and then come back for the second part. See you in a bit.